Hi everyone and welcome to the All Things itSM Global Podcast. We're coming to you from itSM 15 in London. I'm Kirsty McGowan, I'm here with Rob Stroud.
Welcome to the UK.
Simone Moore.
Hi everyone.
And it's our pleasure to be chatting this afternoon with Steve Morgan, who
Hi everyone.
is Director of Syniad IT.
That's right.
And has the role of being the Chair of the SIAM SIG for itSMF UK.
That's correct.
So welcome.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure
It's
to
good
have
to
you
be
here.
here. Thank you.
Well, you mean here again?
Here again.
Well, having lived here, what was it, 18 months you lived in this hotel?
I lived in this hotel for 18 months.
I think there's
in
a
another
really,
life.
and there's still a huge grin on your face about it, so it must have been a nice experience.
It was weird coming back this morning. It's been a couple of years since I was here last. And,
So the service management here is pretty good then?
yeah, it is actually. Yeah, it is very good. I've got them finely tuned.
But have you used all the free nights yet?
No, used a couple of them. Still got the points sitting in the bank.
Oh, wow.
Have you? I need a night tonight. Can you help me?
Okay, no problem.
But seriously, I was excited. I was fortunate enough to be here at the launch of the SIAM SIG. And it was a pretty exciting day and lots of interest. So
Yep.
where have we got to?
SIG's really great. We had nearly 70 people turn up to the SIAM SIG launch, which
Huge.
was great. We had a few people who were quite surprised that when they turned up, they weren't going to be spoon-fed all the answers.
Right.
That they might have to do a little bit of work.
You actually wanted them to give some of the answers,
And it's really difficult for me as well because I think I know all the answers and always have done. So it's really hard for me not to dominate that sort of conversation. But we're at a point now where we've got 4 working groups established, looking at processes, tooling, business case, and change and people. Has 4 different subject areas. Each one of those has a working group lead, and they are basically, I'm just acting as the headmaster, ensuring that they're getting through that material, with the hope that each of them will independently produce some really good blogs for the itSMF members that we can publish. And ultimately bring that together into some form of body of work on SIAM.
So is the end outcome a book, or is it something we can practically use? What does it look like?
So I did something very similar for the service level management special interest group when I chaired that a few years ago. So we brought together lots of good practice from elsewhere and managed to first blog it and then bring it together into a book. And the book was quite revolutionary at the time because it had a CD at the back.
That's right, I remember when that came out.
That book.
Yeah, so the CD at the back was answering the $1 million question, like what does an OLA template look like?
So there's a lot of those that's read as coasters now.
A lot, exactly, yeah. But at the time they were really useful, right?
Isn't there a book app for that?
Yeah, there probably is. So what I'd love to be able to get to with the SIAM SIG is something quite similar.
Yes.
Where we take a lot of the really good stuff that's been produced and published recently, so the book that's been published here at the conference, for example. Some of the good things that are produced by some of the recognised experts in the industry, so Kevin Holland, James Finister, those sorts of guys. I might even add myself to that still.
You can add yourself to that.
I think I will. Blow my own trumpet. But also then to make it really practical and say, well, okay, how do you actually make that happen? So if you're going through a sourcing program or if you're looking to transform your own organisation, and how do you take all that good practice and bring that alive?
Well, that's really where the SIGs come into play, isn't it? Because, you know, they're groups of people physically doing this in the various types of organisations. And although there are a lot of similarities across in IT service management in organisations, they still have their unique personalities and cultures they have to deal with, etc. So I guess the SIG is the perfect place to get that practical information and knowledge from, isn't it?
Exactly, and what I love about the SIG, so we did a little bit of stand up, sit down in the first session. So we said, well, stand up if you are a consultant, stand up if you are a service provider, and we just got a great demographic. We've got clients, we've got service providers, we've got consultants like myself, but we've also got people who are at different stages of the journey. So some people who really see it as a valuable thing for their organisation but just don't know where to start. Some people that are already on the journey. others like myself who have been through it a few times now with real organisations, got some war stories to tell. And I think that kind of mix is great with the SIGs. It really kind of energises people, and it helps you answer questions which you might think are quite difficult at first. You know, like we really struggle with, on the SLM SIG with what does an OLA template look like, right? You know, that a few years ago that was the $1 million question. If you could answer that in the itSMF conference, then you were, you know, you
get a good pat on the back.
You got a good pat on the back.
So, what I'd like to know was, you know, where did you come to SIAM from? Where's your experience? What have you done?
What have I done?
Well, big question.
Before I did all this, I had a proper job. So I did NatWest for 15 years in IT. So I've done incident problem change, managed the relationship between.
Plus, you used to train it.
Yeah, business and IT. I used to be a trainer, so I used to work for Fox IT, do foundation courses, practitioner courses, managers courses. And then I went to the dark side for 7 years and worked at KPMG. Which was great, really good experience. That was where I lived here for 18 months on a big client job. What was good about that is that just gives you the opportunity to work with really big, scary, complex change programs. So did that, and then basically when I left KPMG, I'd done my first SIAM program with Zurich Insurance, and based out in Zurich actually. Another hotel stay. That's a story for another day. And then as I left KPMG, there was a big change program just about to kick off at Royal Mail. So I did the design, build and implementation of the SIAM program with Royal Mail, along with a team of guys from their side as well. Got introduced to some of the really good tools in this space there, and using all of that knowledge now, I'm working with both client side and also in the service provider community as well to help them in the SIAM world.
So is there something that you actually don't know and that's why you're at the conference?
I'd love to think I know it all. But no, I've really enjoyed today because you know, you see things like James Finister's presentation this morning from TCS. It's a service provider perspective for the world. I've just come from the SLM SIG's view of SIAM. Completely different views, not completely different, but you know, different viewpoints. Great to just see all of that, you know, and that's all kind of going in.
Those all together,
exactly. So I think the conference, no matter where you are in your career, always a great stimulus just to take things away. I've got pages and pages of notes already.
Oh dear.
They're not straight onto the computing device.
Onto the iPad,
Good to hear.
I'm just converted now to Microsoft OneNote. That's
there
in the last few weeks.
So let me ask a SIAM question. What's the 500-pound gorilla in the SIAM room right now?
I think whether it's retained or sourced is the big question as a SIAM capability. So a lot of people present SIAM as purely a service provider play. So you're only ever going to get involved in SIAM if you want to outsource your service management and all the stuff that goes around it if you're in a multi-vendor organisation. That's partially the point of SIAM, but say Royal Mail, for example, they retained their SIAM, their SIAM function. And they retained it because they wanted to have that accountability themselves for the processes, the operation, everything that went on within that. And that is the big play, really, I think, at the moment. The $1 million question is, what do you do with it?
I think it really depends on whether you know, that's a capability that you think is absolutely crucial, that skill should be with you as the organisation, as opposed to having an outsider doing it.
Thing, I think. I think that's the key thing. It's cultural as to what the organisation can stand in terms of its maturity. When you look at an organisation like Royal Mail, for example, just emerging from a big monolithic sourcing contract, they wanted some control themselves, and that's the right thing to do.
Right. Well, Steve, thanks a lot for your time this afternoon.
Been my pleasure. Seems to have flown by.
It has flown by. It's been a real pleasure chatting with you, and
thank you.
I've learned a lot from our discussion, so thank you.
Thanks very much for having me.
Thanks
a lot.
Welcome.
Cheers.